Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. In today's video we're going to cook up some lovely food. We're going to batch cook like 2 meals worth, I'd say. We're going to make a pasta dish to start off with, and then I'm going to show you how I do my batch cooking breakfasts. If you like this kind of video, please let me know in the comments and I will make more. So the first dish I'm going to make today is a pasta meal. I'm just going to use the rest of this pasta I got. I used the other half to make meatballs and pasta, which is quite nice. For this one we're going to make like a pasta bake, but I'm using mushrooms and a few other ingredients that I'll show you in this video. So we're going to start off with a couple of onions. I actually got these onions from Aldi and they're huge. If you've seen my previous video where I did my mega haul, where I went to the wholesaler and then I went to Aldi, I did like a mega shop. It's about £420 worth of groceries, but it's all for my batch cooking. So this dish, yeah, it's going to be like a creamy pasta-y bake. Somebody made a passing comment on one of my TikToks saying that my chopping boards are so tiny I should invest in getting bigger chopping boards, which I will do if I can get bigger chopping boards that do like the green ones and the red ones and the blue ones, because they're all for like different types of things that you chop up on them. So if anybody knows where I can get some of those, let me know. Now before I even cook the sauce, I'm going to divide the pasta up into these 2 dishes. If you want to know where you can get these dishes, they're about 3.5 litre, I think, is that right? But they're £6 each from Asda, which is cheaper than the well-known brand of dishes, so that'll be good to get. Now this is kind of my hack for dishing up large amounts of pasta if you've got one of these mega pots like I have. What I do is I use a sieve and just dip it into the pot and put it into the dish that you're going to put your food in. It's way easier than, you know, hurting yourself trying to pick that pot up full of water and pasta and try and drain it into your sink for all the pasta to come out and go in like into your sink itself. So as you can see here, I've successfully put that pasta into the pot, though there was a little bit left at the bottom that I did drain out with, like, you know, the normal way that you do things with pasta and when you drain it out. And that's what my child ate, because I have a child who doesn't like sauce or anything on her pasta, though she will have a little bit of mozzarella cheese, but that's as far as it goes. And now we're going to move on to making the sauce. So I'll put a generous glug of olive oil in the bottom of the pan. You can use whatever oil you want, whatever you prefer, use it. I've been using beef tallow recently, but for this dish I'm using olive oil. Now I've got my 2 large onions in my bowl here, and I'm just going to throw that in. Really funny because I forgot to put the second ring on this particular hob, so I was wondering why it was cooking quite slowly. Oh, we've got pancetta. I forgot I had pancetta in this dish. It's a pancetta and mushroom bake. There we go. I should really go back and re-edit this audio and be like, you know, pancetta and bake and mushroom, but it doesn't matter. So I'm throwing all the pancetta in. I bought 2 packs of pancetta from Aldi, but they're like 2 packs of 2, so technically I added 4 small packs of pancetta to the large pan that we have here. And I gave that a good mix. It didn't brown off as much as I wanted it to because I didn't put that second hob on, did I? Yeah. Next time I'll remember to that. Also, I forgot to season it, so you're going to see seasonless food right now. However, when I brought the pot over to the counter to put on top of the pasta in the trays, in the dishes, I then seasoned it before I did that. So hopefully it won't taste too bad. And then I've added some mushrooms. Now I got this pack of mushrooms from Morrison's for £1. So sometimes they've got one of those salad bars in Morrison's, and if they have too much of a certain product, they'll sell it cheap on the shop floor. So I got some mushrooms for £1. Here I am adding some butter. The kids are all sort of looking around thinking, when am I going to eat my pasta? They always do this when I'm cooking. The kids are there. It's like they become so hungry all of a sudden, but it's fine. Also, as you can see, I've added the butter, but I'm adding some flour now to make a sauce. So this is going to thicken the sauce, but please do cook off that flour before you add any liquid to it, any stock or anything like that. I think I added some chicken stock to this, but I'm adding just a little bit more flour, and also I'm adding self-raising flour instead of plain flour. I don't think it really matters which flour you use. I've just always used self-raising flour because I buy that stuff in bulk. like I've got a lot of it, and this is kind of consistency you want. It kind of like sticks to all of your ingredients. I'm going to come along with some stock, and I just throw all the stock in, and then I just continuously mix it on high, and I don't get any lumps or anything like that, and it does actually mix in really, really well. And I'm going to give you a good view of what it looks like, or what it should look like. So this is what it should look like, but I do add a whole tub thing of cream cheese. Here it is, again from Aldi. This is just full fat cream cheese going into there, but you can make the sauce a completely different way. You can make yourself a roux, like a proper roux, with your flour, your butter, your milk, even cheese. Add your cheese in there instead of cream cheese if you want. The sauce base is really up to you, but there doesn't seem to be a lot of sauce on here, or it doesn't look like there is, but there is, trust me, there is. And when you give it a good mix around, top it with your mozzarella, bit of parsley to be fancy, it's really, really good, really, really nice. And I'm not just saying this because this is my dish, I'm saying it because it generally is nice. Right, second dish of this video, I'm making, or I'm batch cooking some breakfast. Now this is like the easiest thing to ever make. As you can see, I've got a huge bowl of eggs. I got 60 eggs from the wholesaler. Again, want to see that video, check the video I made before this one, and you'll see all the things I got from the wholesaler. So these are going to be sausage, egg and cheese breakfast wraps. I did end up making just sausage and cheese because James doesn't really like egg. So I've made a few for him, and instead of using what I like to call burger cheese, I'm using mozzarella instead, because then everybody can have this. I've got a few children that don't like burger cheese, some do, some just prefer mozzarella, some don't, so I'm trying to cater for everybody's palate. Now I don't actually add any seasoning to these eggs usually, but salt, pepper, bit of milk, or even butter if you like. I'm going to leave them plain. But you know, if you want to add salt, pepper and anything else you want to add to it, you do that. Make them as tasty as you like. Make them for your palate. Make them for your family and what they like. Now this is the way that I make my eggs. You can make your eggs however you like to make your eggs for your wraps or whatever you're making. But first of all, oil in the pan, and I'm going to kind of make an omelette because I want them to be flat so I can place them perfectly in that wrap. So I'll put my eggs in, then I get like a flat wooden spoon and sort of push the edges in. And by doing this, I don't know what it is, I saw someone else do this. This is not my idea, but I can't even tell you where I got this from. Some corner of the internet showed me this. So I'm just going to push the corners in, and by doing so it cooks the eggs lovely and evenly, and they become flat, so you can just like cut them up and put them inside of your wraps or whatever you're making that requires egg. And now I'm going to assemble everything. So what I'm going to do is just cut those sausages in half, which makes it so much easier to like assemble this all together. Now I could have made this way easier for myself by using these sausage patties, which you can do, which I might do next time if it works with this. I've actually got some in my freezer, and I also made some out of some sausage meat that I got from Marks and Spencer that was reduced. So I can make these again, or I can make the muffin version, you know, the English muffins, which I do actually have in my freezer, but I've got them as bacon, egg and cheese. I've got a lot of breakfast, but these are good because you can have for breakfast, lunch or dinner, or as we like to call it, brinner. So to assemble, I just laid down my wrap that I got again from that wholesale place, and then I'm adding my flat egg that I put into a bowl because that's the only thing that I could actually find at the time to put my egg in. And then I'm just adding the sausage on top, and then this is my big bag of mozzarella cheese. Now this actually, again, I got from the wholesaler in a huge bag, but I've just divided it up into some smaller bags so it's easier to use. So I'm just going to sprinkle that cheese in, and then I'm just figuring out how to roll this right here. And that's it really, and I just wrap them in some foil, put them in some Ziploc bags, and they go in the fridge. Now if you like this video, please subscribe, give it a thumbs up and drop a comment, and I will make more batch cooking videos for you very, very soon. Until then, check out my other videos.